We're learning more tonight about why the jury in the Paul Manafort trial had so much trouble reaching verdicts on more than half of the counts against him. Correspondent Peter Ducey has the behind-the-scenes information from one of the jurors.
For 16 days, 54-year-old Paula Duncan was juror 0302, filling a pair of marble notebooks with detailed observations of every argument. She voted for Trump in 2016, and she also voted to convict his former campaign chairman, Paul Manafort.
Finding Mr. Manafort guilty was hard for me. I wanted him to be innocent. I really wanted him to be innocent, but he wasn't.
Guilty, how much?
This week, Manafort was convicted on 8 counts of tax and bank fraud, and the judge declared mistrials on 10 other counts where the jury couldn't come to a consensus. But now we know they came really close.
It would have been guilty on all 18 counts if not for the one female that said she had reasonable doubt.
This juror's doubts appear to be geared more towards the motives of the Mueller team.
It's a witch hunt to try to find Russian collusion and pin it on President Trump.
Duncan had a head-on view of the Mueller team from the jury box and says sometimes the prosecutors had heavy eyelids.
A lot of times they looked bored, and other times they catnapped.
Duncan sympathized with the defense team's argument that all these allegations could have been settled with an audit, but she contends Manafort was charged because he once worked for the president.
He wouldn't have gotten caught if they weren't after President Trump.
Still, the special counsel's prosecutors overwhelmed Duncan and the other jurors with evidence.
The paper trail was just, there was so much of it. There were 4 full boxes of papers to go through.
Those papers were apparently a lot more compelling than the Mueller team's star witness, Rick Gates, whose so-called secret life was exposed on the stand.
I think he deserves a special place in hell. He was just as guilty as Paul Manafort, maybe even more. I mean, he embezzled from his employer.
In the jury room, Duncan says tempers flared during the 4-day-long deliberations.
There's no tears in being a juror, but there were.
One juror mouthed off about the Manafort team, which led to sealed talks about a mistrial. Newly released transcripts reveal the judge learned that a mystery juror, quote, made it very clear that she didn't feel that the defense really had anything to offer upcoming in for the rest of the trial. The defense then pushed for a mistrial, arguing, quote, we would obviously not agree that that's a small thing when a juror in the middle of a trial or over a 4 or 5 day period, we have jurors making comments on the weakness of the defense. But Judge Ellis said, I see no earthly reason for a mistrial. Judge Ellis later kept the names of the jurors under seal, citing threats he'd received. But Duncan doesn't sense any danger.
I'm not concerned. Had the verdict gone any other way, I might have been.
One thing that hasn't changed, Paula Duncan's devotion to Trump, which was on display on her way to court.
Every day when I drove, I had my Make America Great Again hat in the back seat, just as a reminder.
Judge Ellis said that publicly sharing details of deliberations could cause injury to the deliberative process, but he told jurors they could do whatever they want. And Paula Duncan insists that she did what she was told and always kept an open mind, even though she did have a Make America Great Again hat in the parking garage here at the courthouse. Brett?
Peter Ducey outside the courthouse tonight. Peter, thank you.